It is said that grief is what follows love. True love, the sort that's kept within you and held like a fragile, cherished piece. It's the sort that breaks, the slivers cutting you as you walk away from it and leave it, by choice or by force, for fame, gold, or faith, or by request of the one cherished. Grief is what follows those that walk from their homes and venture deeper into a space, or at least it is for me. Perhaps for others, it's continuance, an active choice or being. I've yet to feel it nor see it that way, yet for one cherished both past and present, I will venture down this path. And I can only hope that others that travel here, or wherever they may go, have a calm, a bitterly calm travel, and find no trouble. Oh wow. Somebody huge is walking over there. And that rock's moving. And what interesting people walking around. That guy's arm looks like a Vienna sausage, covered in tissue. Oh look, the sky's flickering. Oh look, the sky's falling.
Right where we left off. A conversation between Liz Kasim and Archivist Antonio Mer is interrupted while the perusing of the city between one Marcus and one Lord Tyrannus Rex is similarly interrupted. The flickering catches the eyes of each passerby. It is a uproarious thing. Guards clad in gold begin to run to the northern edge of the city, while civilians whisper hushed tones of prophecy and rumor. Do you two stay within the confines of O-Shash or head northwards with the disparate few who seem to be interested in the goings-on?
Has the meteor already crashed down?
It just has, yes. Mere moments ago, there was a loud impact thud and a wave of a sand-like substance washing over you.
Did we see it going through the sky, through the sky?
Roll me a perception check. Above a 10, you would have noticed it prior to its eclipsing of the sun and its impact. Marcus certainly notices. As does Lord Tyrannus Rex. A flicker caught your eye, your eyeline quite high above most. You catch the fading image against the blue backdrop of the sky as it hurtles southward. Or I guess in this case, northward. South towards the ground. You've had a few moments to contemplate this.
Marcus will just sigh. He'll look at Tyrannus. Well, Alphonse did say everything. And he'll start
Yes, behold.
running over.
You see this, it is clearly some kind of sign.
As you rush northward, there are three mid-conversation coming to the front of the Library of Sand, where you had met Antonio previously. He is speaking to them in hurried tones, like a conversation left unfinished was rudely interrupted, and we will leave you there for the moment. Veldra. It is about midday, around the time Shannon often gets a semblance of a break. It isn't a common occurrence or a regular one, but you don't have much to do outside of take care of your ward at this time. As she steps out, You notice Iggy prowling on a corner, spots you, does a 180 and begins to run away. As you consider the audacity of this young man, there is a loud thud and a wave of sand coming from a northern direction. You watch as guards begin to mobilize and head in that direction. There's not a lot of occurrences like this that would happen around O-Shash, the most common being large worms burrowing beneath the now unrooted sands have grown fat in the years since your people have reclaimed the desert. Perhaps it is one of them. However, claims of a meteor or a comet lead that presumption into question. What would you like to do?
Did you see that?
I didn't, but I felt it. They may be injured. I should tell Dr. Yin. Shannon will
Alright, I'll...
turn on her heel and head inside.
Mulder, in the meantime, would probably go look over there.
You begin to make your way northward through the square, heading in the same direction as the guards. A few of them nod to you, a respectful gesture of maybe faint recognition, though it's difficult to tell from behind the golden masks each of them don. As you begin to walk the path up and around the Library of Sand, you see a large man in many plated armors, his body resembling some kind of audacious lizard. As Archivist Antonio Mer kind of calls down, do any of you know what happened?
Yes, I saw it with my own two eyes. Some comet or sort of thing has streamed down from on high and has made its way to crash into the desert sands. Look at the sign upon my shield. Clearly, this is some kind of sign.
It doesn't take much, Tyrannus, but you watch as you make reference to some kind of celestial concordance that the High Elven Man's features alight somewhat. There is a curiosity in the topic, if not for the event. And he sort of looks to you and Marcus and goes, you two, you'll be traveling with Leith and Kasim? He'll gesture to the two people with him. If you don't mind, I would like to know what's going on. Consider this your first real assignment. There'll be payment on return. He seems a little unsure of himself, but he makes the offer regardless.
I was just on my way to check it out myself. I shall gladly tell you all about what I find at the impact site. It is good to make your acquaintance. Kasim and Lith. He told us the names, right?
Leith. His name is Leith. How often is it that we would see a
dragonborn of that scale?
Of that stature, yes.
In the north, not often at all. You know they exist by virtue of rumors of a split evolution or ancestry between the dragonborn and Goliath, as you have definitely seen quite a few Goliath of his stature. But to see one in the flesh is a different story. You were stood on this small rise leading up to the library, and you were just barely over his snout. The plumage on his head rises above even your quite large stature.
Your name was what again?
Oh yes. I'm sorry. This This has been quite the exciting occurrence. I forget myself. I am Lord Tyrannus Rex, Bulwark of Troda.
Did he say what of Troda? We can walk and do introductions. I'd assume many people are going to go check this out, and we should probably try to be the first there.
Indeed.
As she says that, Marcus will just take off on the rocks.
That one is sociable. I think you'll like that one, Leith. He looks like he enjoys long talks and walks on the sand.
Oh, yes. He's my comrade Marcus.
Well, get to it, I suppose. Archivist Antonio will head back into the library, realizing that he is far too nerdy for this.
Is my boy at the door?
He is not.
Oh no.
You see to the south a elven man, clad in many layered clothing, who is soon flanked by some of the Waters Guard that you have seen in your brief entrance into the town. Their golden masks, a reflection of their duty in a cultural hold. As a studied individual, you would know that the Edelmava rarely bare their teeth unless a foe is worth baring them to. It seems that the guards of this city have held to that tradition in its extreme, choosing to remain masked so that a misunderstanding or misinterpretation is not made.
Oh. Are there any streaks left in the sky? Or does it seem like whatever it was just
Yes.
passed through?
Make me an Arcana check, please. There's certainly a flight path that has embedded softly into the pale blue, but you can't quite make out its composition as it begins to fade too rapidly.
Me wanting to blow that inspiration already. No, it's fine.
Wait,
Yeah, what's up?
is Antonio still out there?
No, he went in after saying if they look into it, he'll pay them.
Alright. Then I guess he'll. Well, if he was still, I would have. Well, if he's not outside anymore, then he'll just continue following them all, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah.
Each of you walk and talk. Veldra is slightly behind. That's a couple of paces. Everybody is moving with a gentle sense of hurriedness, but also a caution. The guards up ahead are poking their spear butts into the sand around them, seemingly checking for footfalls or any evidence of burrowing. You guys have 5 or 6 minutes before you arrive at the presumed destination.
It's a bit hard to speak around Lord Tyrannus. He said your name was Marcus up there?
He'll kind of... how big is Tyrannus? Like,
We're speaking through him, dude. Every pass of his leg, I'm waving at you.
He'll just look between his legs, I guess, as we run. Yep. Yours?
Kiss this is, and I'll like walk to the side a bit and let the passing of the leg. This is Leith.
Nice to meet you. And he'll kind of nod a little bit as he's still running.
Yes, hello.
Tyrannus, can you move, please? Just a little bit.
Sure. Yes, certainly.
Just step over me. It'll be easier.
Of course.
He's well spoken for. No, I think that's rude. You are interesting.
Just kind of look at you.
Okay, ignore that part.
Mhm.
So, how did you come to the employ of the archivist?
Guy named Alphonse hired us.
Yes, we were up in the mountains and were looking for work, and Alphonse, he's a dwarf who lives in the mountains, a very big name in the city of Veracas, has agreed to pay us should we do some work down here for him.
Valika. How does the city fare these days?
It's there.
I was only there for a short while, but it seems to be doing well. You know, this is fascinating. I haven't seen something fall from the sky like this in so long.
You've seen something fall from the sky before in this fashion?
The fuck?
I mean, my spear. You see this black metal? It is made from stuff that fell from on high.
Yes. Your spear is made from something that fell from the sky.
Many do not believe me, but trust me, I saw it with my own two eyes. I went up into the mountain and did strike to the rock with my pick until I had broken off a sizable piece and brought it back to the city.
Marcus will chuckle a little. Yeah, it's got a lot of crazy stories.
I have heard such tales before, though I have not paid them much mind.
Not many do.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
You notice an elf moving rather rapidly, not boasting the same kind of coverings or indications as a guard of the city, but he is in fact keeping up and heading in the same direction. There is the presumption of he has heard everything that is being said, because to hear each other over Lord Tyrannus's footfalls means you're raising your voice.
yes, a friend of yours, Marcus?
Never seen him in my life.
I think he looks familiar, but I do not remember talking to him. I feel like we passed him by at some point before.
Yes.
Y'all looking at him?
Yes.
Yeah. Marcus is checking over his shoulder every couple of seconds, like, who the fuck is this one-armed guy?
I kept looking back as Leaf was talking and like kept a side glance of somebody following us.
Yeah. The elf seems to wave at you, Marcus.
He's just gonna keep
I did not notice you. I'm too excited to find this whatever has fallen.
Wow, my neck is starting to hurt. Is this how people feel looking up at me?
Most likely, yes.
I wouldn't
Is your
know.
hair leaves?
Why do you ask?
I'm now getting uncomfortably close and staring at the back of your head as we're speed walking.
Action dashes.
The awkwardness of the conversation is broken as Marcus clears the ridgeline and is able to look down upon the scene that seems to have unfolded. Bright gold powder.
He just like screeched to a halt. Is that a fucking person? What? What the fuck?
Oh, was somebody hit by it?
I don't know. I'm not going in there. And he'll pull out his cartography kit and start drawing what he sees.
Well, I will.
Perhaps Lord Tyrannus, somebody smaller that might not step on anything important, should go.
Yes,
Somebody
a good
somebody
idea.
with a more delicate touch.
A little more dexterous. Well,
Yes, I shall go after it is deemed safe for someone of my stature.
Yes, that is a person, though they appear to be in the center of all this.
unfortunate luck. Well then,
I
was there-
highly doubt it.
Builder will slide in.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You slide down the edge of the impact crater. The ground underneath your feet moves easily, but you're familiar with this terrain, and it does not cause you any troubles as you do so.
Oh, well, we were hired to go look at, and I guess I will. Pardon me. She will slowly slide down.
Alright then.
Uncle Leith is just like, all right, guess you're doing this.
Oh, it's just, yeah. Okay.
Before I go all the way in, can I reach down and like touch the golden flakes? Does it feel like real gold?
The flakes or the flames?
The flakes. We're not touching the fire just yet.
As you reach your fingers down and press upon the material, perhaps sampling a small amount to hold in your palm, it does seem like flakes of gold, or at least a material that you could sell as a very conceivable counterfeit.
Leith, I'm going to check this out in under the guise of not seeing somebody potentially hit by a rock. Would you go check the person? I think.
Yes, of course.
Cool. I'm gonna begin collecting samples of this
Yep.
gold question mark.
As you begin to collect samples, and Lee's begins to head towards the person, Veldra. As you approach, the golden flames do not hold the lick of heat as you perhaps would have expected. There is a neutrality to it. You would have to move through the flames to access the body, however.
It's actively around him. All right. And they feel no heat at all.
Nope. They are golden in hue and bear no heat.
He'll place his arm slightly over it, if it's not that high, and slowly get closer to see if you've been touching the flames.
Which arm?
What?
Bandaged or not?
Probably the bandaged one. Why not?
Bandage on my arm?
No, he has a bandaged arm.
Ah.
Yeah.
Veldra, you reach forward with your bandaged arm and the flames do not stop you. They do not seem to singe at the fabric that is binding the wound. Almost like water, they shift and curl around it. You hear quiet footfalls as Leith approaches.
Do they seem alive?
With how closer I get, does it seem like he's breathing?
It is difficult to tell. The man wears many layers of robes, a fine assortment of almost black silk embroidered at the edges with a delicate gold. It is difficult to discern. You may make a medicine check if you wish.
Before all that, he'll just grab. Can you grab him?
Yeah.
He's close enough. He'll just grab him and drag him out of, I guess, the flames to just over here in general.
Veldra drags the unconscious body.
Do you think you should be grabbing somebody like that?
Like what? We need a closer look at him, unless you prefer to stand in the flames.
I mean, I do want to go inspect them, I guess. Did you just manhandle him by the collar and just drag him?
Yeah.
My point stands. My point stands.
Right.
Well, okay. I've had enough of picking up gold after I watched this dude just do that. Are you going to check if he's alive?
With a clear look. Now can I check if he's actually breathing still?
You can make a medicine check.
Sure.
Unless you want to strip him so you can see his breathing. Those are
You
your
just
choices.
are you just gonna stare at him?
Hold on, make a medicine check first.
I was just going to observe for a while more, but
Take too long.
Veldra, as you manhandle the body out from the flames, you understand a simple fact about being in the desert. And that's generally where there's impact of this caliber. The sand is more powder than anything, and dragging him would only deal with issues of debris or stones, but not of any spinal damage or otherwise inflicted wounds. But as you take the moment, you sort of move at the collar, you check for a pulse. You notice that the thin cracks along his skin hum with a faint golden light. He breathes, but he does not have a pulse. It is a conundrum. There is life in the body, but perhaps not as you had expected it. However, even in the current circumstance, you have a man made of metal on the other side of you. So maybe it's not the strangest thing.
Breathing with
Well.
no pulse.
oh,
Yeah. Usually those things don't go together. Well, instead of just staring at him, I'm gonna. Well, you can't really kneel anywhere clean. I will kneel down and begin unlayering the man. Breathing with no pulse. That's a thing, apparently.
You carefully begin to disrobe him, undoing the careful knots of a similarly golden thread that bind the different layers of fabric over his form, and you open him up. His skin along his torso is similarly cracked with the same kind of golden hue. The first thing you notice, Kasim, is that the man does not appear to have a rib cage, at least not a visible one. It is almost like the musculature of the stomach extends up along his torso. But he is breathing.
Does it seem like it is rhythmic, like it's unchanging, or it's like an unnatural pace?
Slower than you'd expect, but it is rhythmic. It does seem like a performative body function not under stress.
This is deeply unnerving, but interesting. Well, we should probably bring it back.
yes, they do not appear damaged in most capacities.
Are you a doctor by any chance?
I'm learned in some forms, not a doctor by any means, no. But the archivist might have more understanding as to why he is breathing, but not alive? At least unconscious? Or whatever he is.
How does
Leaf?
he?
Never mind. Go ahead.
How does he feel in the arcane sense? Is he weird?
You can make an Arcana check. You will get additional information based on the result.
I can do this, and That's
Hey,
good.
That's pretty good.
Enormous brain.
Lise, you were well traveled. In your march, shall we call it, you've encountered a few people of extraordinary magical aptitude. Generally, you would deem them as a sorcerer. That is sort of the colloquial name. The alternative is a warlock who has some kind of pact bound to their body. Both definitions can fit this man, but they feel strange. There's definitely something magical about his anatomy. The golden pulsing light holds a radiant hue, something presumably associated with the steps of Haven. But the source of it evades your knowledge.
Well, since it is like that, I'm also just gonna cast this here.
Sure.
Strange. Not in a medical sense, arcanely so. Sorcerers? Maybe.
As you say that, and trace a faint sigil in the air to call forth a heightened detection of magic, there's a few things that you note. The first is a minor presence of divination that seems to be somewhat attached to the form, as if applied from an outside source. The second, which is, let's call divination 20%. The second, which is, I just had it, transmutation, is 30%, but that seems to be pumping through his veins, like his biological composition is magical, like he is a conjured creature. And the final 50%, excuse me, 30% transmutation, like a conjured creature, in the methods where the components used for a summoning are consumed and make up the body. That is how transmutation fits.
Yes, as if it is a transmuted vessel and not organic living one.
Correct. And the final 50% is conjuration, but in the method of transposition. So extraplanar travel, minor teleportation, etc. Which, I mean, you could kind of presume he fell out of the sky. He had to get there somehow.
Yes. Well, isn't that strange? Well, not really. He had to survive the fall somehow. Yes. A strange visitor.
How are the guards up on the ridge looking as we're down here, John, investigating things?
They seem to be deferring to Veldra being a part of this. The rest of you are looked at with some amount of suspicion. But the guards have taken up their posts as a perimeter and seem to have sent at least one of them back as a courier. Perhaps alerting their superior or getting somebody who is more versed in this. You know that the guards saw you speaking to Antonio, so the presumption of the Library of Sand being involved is the majority of the weight that is keeping them from interfering. There's also golden fire in the middle of that pit, and not many of them want to get much closer. Should any of you do anything suspicious, spears will be hurled at you, and you will bleed into the gold.
Okay, that's cool. But speaking of which, is the golden fire of one of those particular schools, by the way, just asking? Or is it something else?
Good question. The golden fire is evocation, as you would expect, the conjuring of an energy source Similarly, it pings as extraplanar, and similarly, you cannot quite land upon a conclusion. However, with your 19, there is a hum of divination from the flames. This is common in spellcraft that would have the method of detecting friend or foe, in that this is probably aligned to burn certain kinds of individuals, and not burn others.
Is that determined by some disposition or determined by type of creature or determined by even species?
It is none of those. It seems to be a test of one's character, a kind of interpersonal adjudication. The flames themselves do not have a denomination like fiend or outsider that they would impact, but instead seem to target a character flaw, but you are unable to determine what that character flaw is.
At this point, does this look like something I could get back up if I went down into it?
It would take some shimmying, but you reckon you could. The weight of Lord Tyrannus hitting the edge of the impact crater sends a small wave of sand hurtling downwards. But he keeps his balance, his lizard feet, for lack of a better term, being wide enough to balance his weight.
Marcus will call out, "Can you get a sample for Alphonse while you're down there?"
Yes, that was my intent, after I sketched some in situ, of course.
He'll just nod at you.
Oh, so was he struck?
No.
I think he is what struck.
Yes, he has fallen from the skies.
It's remarkably intact for something that is plummeted
Yes.
from distance.
I believe he was guarded by magic as he fell.
Very fascinating.
Yeah, I would like to get him back to the Archivist as soon as possible, however. So, we should
Yes,
probably get what
Yeah.
we're going to get from the hole. It will surely be here by the time we are back
done.
to...
The flames may
We're
burn
done talking about
out,
him then.
but I
Yes.
would be careful of them. They may harm you depending on your disposition.
What kind? They didn't burn me.
Well,
curious.
I do not how you are as an individual, but they may be of harm to certain types.
Curious with the wording of may harm. He's gonna try to touch him.
Just touching things.
Yeah, he's bad about that.
Who are you?
You ask a lot of questions.
I mean, we were hired to be down here. I don't know why you are here.
I mean,
Passerby that's simply curious and observing you. But don't worry, I have a few words for Antonio after all this.
That
Don't worry about
sounded
yourself.
very friendly.
Whoa.
Mm.
I
All
need
right,
to be-
sausage arm.
Angry elf child.
Sassy elf man. Anti-social rock. Tyrant is touching fire.
You say that like you didn't just jump headfirst into the pit.
I did not. I went second.
Yes, we observed somebody else do that first.
I didn't say first.
Yeah, we're looking
You talk a
too
lot for
long.
somebody not in the hole. I believe you were hired to come and bring back things for the archivist.
Let the
You
coward
know.
be a coward.
I believe we were
No.
all hired to do that. It doesn't take multiple hands to do that.
I believe they call this delegating.
Yes, I'm sure you'll be excited to get paid for standing around the rim of a hole.
He's gonna look down and start drawing again.
The bickering ensues as Lord Tyrannus's large hand reaches down and gently cups the golden flames. They do not seem to harm him, and part like water against his interference.
Good for you.
Friendly little guy. Leith, will you help me carry him up this hole, please?
I'm sure Lord Tyrannus could do that.
Yes, he looks quite large. You could just lift him over the edge.
Please don't
Yes.
drop him.
Do not worry, I will not drop him. Then he'll, try to get next to him, but your token's in.
Yeah, let me back up from your girth.
Excuse me, just a second. He'll, try to lift, this sky descended person as gently as he can manage.
As your hand cups underneath this individual's body, they stand at about 5'9", and you would estimate a weight of maybe 75 kilos, roughly, to like 150 pounds. I don't know which side of the conversion you stand on. But as you lift him, you estimate that he is about double that weight.
He's a very dense. Marcus, seeing as you are atop the ledge, could you, I will hand him up, could you assist him in getting up the ledge so I do not have to climb up the surface with him in my grasp?
I guess. He'll make its way.
He hands over the body, and it thuds softly into the sand. As you kind of
As the
help
potato.
stop the impact. The leverage works as intended, but the weight is a little surprising.
Jesus Christ.
Indeed, he is much heavier than he looks.
The guard next to you goes, "Who is Jesus Christ? Is he a genie?"
I think so.
Good.
See the rock you made your spear from?
That rock was quite dense as well, you know. Perhaps this is what the density is what causes these things to fall from the sky. Maybe.
Marcus is gonna poke some, like, I guess his face. Does it feel like flesh?
Yeah, it does.
I will smack away, Marcus. Can you not?
It doesn't feel like a rock to me.
Pokes
Surprisingly.
weird man in face.
Shape that cyan.
I'm going to pick Lucian up as a piggyback and hold him.
Is your strength?
Yes.
8?
Yeah, it is a 10, and I also have powerful build,
Okay.
so it should be okay.
If it was 8, you might have issues, but you don't.
I'm going to keep all these pokey-handed, dragging by the collar and poking goodness. Oh, by the way,
It wouldn't have mattered if he was dead if I was dragging him. Which he's not.
Wait, we forgot the robot.
he will come. Leith, he will come.
Nope.
Let us know when you're ready, Leith.
Yes, I am performing research.
Yes. Oh, goodness gracious.
We
I
should all
guess while
compare
he's
our
there, I
notes,
will
like,
place him down gently and just make sure he stays alive. Does he's not injured in any way, but oh my gosh, she's so pale.
He's got cracks on his skin, but they don't look like wounds or scars.
I'm not gonna poke at them because I just got mad at Marcus for poking at them, but I'm thinking about it.
While you
They
consider
look
the moral dilemma and set the man down, Leith,
Do I have any reason to believe that touching those flames will harm me?
I don't think you would have a reason to think they would.
Curious as always, and convinced by his looking into it, he will also place a hand upon the flames, see how they feel, if there's anything in the arcane sense. But that is the last thing he probably do, expect checking the immediate impact site where the man landed.
There is almost a pause as the bickering to the south of you almost falls away. The flames lick at the metallic ends of your hand, as if tasting and testing. They do not burn, but the residue, almost like a flame, you know, if you hold a lighter on something metal, the way the smoke,
Like a
kinda-
scorch mark?
Yeah, the scorch mark. There's almost a softly yellow scorch mark on your metallic casing, but the flames do not hurt you.
Let's see. Nod. Yes. But besides that, all Leith would do is check the immediate impact crate, and then if there's nothing of note, he would turn back and climb out.
In amidst the sand, there is almost like a glass where the body had landed. Like the heat and conductivity of the action glassed a small segment of it. It's about palm-sized, highly irregular. But that is the only abnormality aside from the golden flakes that dot the area around you.
Yeah, he'll store that away for further research and exit the crater.
As you rise the
Looks at-
edge, you see Kassim contemplating touching the man's face.
Seeing as Leith is back here, I'm going to re-backpack the man. As much as I would like to check out the crater, I think the man is more important in this scenario. And the sooner he is back with the Archivist, the better.
There was not much to be found. It is okay to leave.
are you sure you would not like me to carry him? I'm quite.
No,
Well,
I'm sure. It is fine.
All right then.
The guards gather around and escort you back into the city proper. You note that there are a few of them that stayed behind, perhaps to ensure others do not go meddling in an area they are not allowed to. But your travel back into the city is quick. The captain alongside of you makes gestures to her infantrymen and then continues escorting you. Where would you like to take the body?
I'm walking straight back to the library.
Captain wait at the exterior. Do you knock on the door?
I knock on it once.
The answer is prompt. An older man, pointed ears and white hair, opens and looks at you and goes, "Hello. I suppose you went and dealt with that. Yes, not for me. Antonio." The man will disappear in a puff of mist as he teleports away.
My mouth was open the entire time.
No, he missed the step away.
He
Misty
missed.
step.
Yeah, he was so
He's
done.
a
He
dumb-
missed his step.
Something like trying to get a word in before he
No
left.
hi or anything.
No.
I feel
Fine.
so dejected again.
Antonio will appear, and as he does so, the guard captain will sort of walk up and interpose themselves as he takes in the scene. "Yes, Archivist, I understand that this might fall under a dual jurisdiction. Will you at least allow the doctor in?" Of course. I just wanted to know what happened. Doctor?" He'll look at the person that Kasim is carrying. "Yes?" "Good. The General will be in contact shortly with these individuals you have seemed to hire." The person looks towards Veldra, but the mask makes their expression unreadable. She will return to the entryway. The doctor was coming anyway, is the impression you get. She was just performing the niceties. "Oh, who? What? He's alive?" He will ask.
Yeah.
towards Kasim.
He's alive, breathing. He has no pulse, and there's these weird golden flecks about him that seem to be interwoven with his skin. They were also on the sand. He's also quite heavy, so if we could have this conversation somewhere I can put him down, that would be great.
Yes, save your back. That's fine. If only Nicholas were here, he could lift him on a disc. Damn it, Nicholas.
No, Nicholas is great. He's so very helpful. You should give him a raise or time off with his family.
He's my boss. I don't get to give him a raise. Regardless, let's head inside.
Wait, what will? I don't think I can fit in there.
We can squeeze you through, buddy.
Do you need a hand? Usually the big folk just crouch. I have a spell if you are consenting.
Yes, that would be most helpful, assuming you can, of course, restore me to my noble stature upon leaving this institution.
Well, it'll do to get you in, and it'll do to get you out. He will click his fingers, and as he does so, there's a whoosh that sounds like wind flowing through a tunnel, and then the rapid shifting of papers as a spellbook apparates in front of him. He'll thumb through some of the pages before drawing a sigil, outlining the same sigil that is in the book, and with a pulse of energy, he will cast a reduced portion of Enlarge Reduce and turn Tyrannus into a regular boy.
How does it feel?
I will update your
Or
time.
at least. So this is. I guess I'll wait till it changes.
Old.
Oh,
I had to
Explodes.
shoot you.
You killed him.
On first, how tall is he? What height within medium?
You lose, I'd say 4.5 feet. So you're short.
All right. So this is what it feels like to be of the typical stature.
like us normal people, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
Well,
it helps.
what are we waiting for now?
Look at that small elf.
Very well.
Thank you.
I don't know where would be best. It's not exactly a hospital, but fine. He will move over here and wave his hand, and you will see the outlines of two shadows come over and slowly begin to move things. Seems this place is stocked with unseen servants. You can place Lurian down.
Bet.
And that's all that was there? Why is he
Yeah.
shiny?
Well, that comes with falling from the sky and his extraplanar nature.
There were some golden flames and some golden dust too. Or
I will
flakes.
place my little vials on the table for him to look at.
I have made sketches of the impact site as well. If you would like to see those later.
Yes. Of course, we will
Marcus
get them added to the archive.
Marcus will hand him his copy.
Ooh. Quite a wide impact. And he's
Mhm.
his clothes look freshly ironed. A little crumpled at the edges.
Yes,
Who
he
tied
was.
these? He'll point out the not greatly done knot on the inside of one of the seams.
Well, I had to make sure he was breathing, and I wasn't really concerned with getting him redressed well, seeing as he didn't have a pulse.
You know what? That's valid.
I can't assume he's not going to stay dressed for long if he stays unconscious and with no pulse.
Well, he's breathing. I'm no doctor. I'm sure Miss Yin will be here shortly.
He's not, like normal creatures. If you know, of course you know. Like a summon almost, but more permanent.
You know, he is extraordinarily dense. I wonder if he sinks in water.
He'll reach out and grab Lurian by the forearm and sort of lift the hand up and then pull his hand away, and there's a loud thump as it clatters to the table. You... Okay.
Was okay.
I was given information. I'm working on it. Kasim, I understand that you are in my employ. You will be paid. This man is breathing. I can't give him a heart. We will wait for the doctor, but I need to be sure that this isn't some elaborate trick Nicholas is playing on me again.
Again? No, stay focused. It's fine.
Lord Tyrannus, could you please not sit in one of those chairs? I have to undo the spell on you to properly examine this.
I assumed he was standing between the chairs, but fair enough, the tokens.
I gave him a brief.
In either case, you were close to a chair, and he does not want his chairs broken.
Yes, of course, I apologize.
I gave him a brief look over with
Oh.
detect magic earlier. There was the lingering sense of transmutation in his vessel. Divination on its surface. And conjuration.
As you speak, you will begin to confirm the information you give him with a quick look over. You watch as he sort of pops the lid off one of the vials of golden sand. He lifts it to his nose before eyeing it. Corks it again. In normal situations, I would let the general deal with this. Summoning isn't exactly outlawed, but it's frowned upon in some regard. But I don't know of anyone with the capacity to summon a man to the sky. Which leaves us with a conundrum. And we don't get answers until he wakes, I suppose.
I certainly am glad we are not in a place too popular with the lineage. His appearance would not be well received.
Antonio nods in acknowledgement. Yes. They are well-meaning, but overzealous. I have not met with them personally, but never mind. They are not here, and there's a soft tapping of footfalls as two individuals approach from the south. Two women begin to stride forward. The younger of the two, or at least the more slight, holds a pouch that is brimming with wrappings for salves and powders. The lady with the veil strides, notices the proximity of the very large lizard, the chairs, and the man, and glares daggers up at him. Thankfully, he moves in time before she has to speak, and will instead ignore all of you and begin her assessment. Antonio will effectively parrot everything Leith has communicated with him to this woman rapidly in Mava, the language of the Wood Elves. She nods as she conducts the same density test of letting the man's hand clatter off the table. She checks for pulses. She withdraws a small scalpel and slices across the flesh along the back of the man's hand. Golden blood seeps out, but not in your traditional flow. It is almost chunky and coagulated. A similar glimmer of the golden flakes seem to travel outwards with it. She will bandage it. She looks towards Antonio and speaks in common, seeing as she has an audience. You say that he fell from the sky. He weighs a ton. He bleeds in gold. And he does not have a pulse. Your magic tricks are getting quite convincing, Archivist, and I am growing tired of them. This is no trick. If I could do something like that, I wouldn't be here. Of course you wouldn't. You would be slain where you stood. Still, the man is alive. I can see to him, or rather have my assistant see to him, through the night. If he does not awaken in 24 hours, we can attempt draining some of his excess blood and applying some intravenous interruptions. She uses thick euphemisms for chemical compounds that she clearly does not want those in the room to understand. Her trade is a well-kept secret from those who would misuse its tools for ulterior purposes. Antonio will nod earnestly. Dr. Yin will turn to each of you. And you? Are any of you injured or otherwise in interference in this man's healing?
No. Nope.
I am uninjured.
Don't think
Don't know how. Yeah.
Everyone here is fine.
Good. Veldradir, seeing as
Yes.
it is Shannon that will be overseeing this for the night, you are to sleep here. You will watch over him, and should any of these interlopers attempt anything, cut their throats and bring their meat to me. Are we clear?
Of course.
Good. Now, Archivist, I have much work to be done. The veiled lady will turn and leave. paying the rest of you no mind. The smaller of the two women will move forward and claim Dr. Yin's place. She is not quite so hostile, and will bow to each of you in turn, except for Veldra, who she gives a kind smile to. Hello. My name is Shannon. I am working with Dr. Yin. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Yes,
Greeting.
I appreciate your assistance, or I guess expertise in this endeavor.
She will nod.
Yes. A pleasure to meet your acquaintance, indeed.
Good. She will claim this seat and begin to undo a satchel of small vials, cutting instruments, bandages, and what seem to be small strips of twine that have been dipped in different components. You can tell by the hydration in them and a tinge of coloration that they're the kind of implements that would be bound underneath a bandage in a wound to help medicate it. She looks over the man, checking for a pulse, though she knows she will not find one, checking temperature. She also does the tried and true hand hitting the table method, as if in imitation of the doctor, and puts on a serious face as she begins to notate her results. The archivist will look at you all and smile somewhat meekly. Let's give them some space. Follow me. And he will begin to move northward. As he does, he kind of turns and he looks at Veldra and goes, "If you are involved, feel free. Job opportunity, I suppose."
Yeah, I'll be
The
there.
antisocial one wants to come help. I don't think he plays well with others.
If Dr. Yin likes him, you would be wise not to insult him. Veldra will lean coolly against the bookshelf. Well, I've begun a ritual of divining. It's not quite complete. You were back much sooner than I anticipated. It will be some hours, probably tomorrow by the time it concludes. For your assistance in this matter, he'll pull out 4 pouches of 50 gold and hand them to everybody but Veldra, and then smile softly to Veldra and go, we'll arrange your payment soon. I was not aware. This was just what I had ready.
It's alright.
Your family is associated with the good doctor. I am terrified of her. Let's just keep that straight. You will be paid. And that's that. On the similar topic, this occurrence is unforeseen, but not unexpected. And allow me to explain that. The Order of the Lost Comet in the West believe quite heavily in the movements of the astral bodies and the concordance of their arrangements, the meaning behind it when a sky is clear and pictures can be drawn, that perhaps it is the remnant light of history attempting to reach us, but they are blocked. Now, a lot of this is impassioned presumptions, but some can be verifiable with magic. There are glyphs that can be seen in the sky, and though there is none now, movements such as this often shift these arrangements. As some of you know, I was assigned to this area in order to inquire about the shrine nearby. It is a point of curiosity, and of course, outside the realm of my combative abilities. So I intended to have you look into it. I fear that with this occurrence, that the degradation of the barriers around the shrine might be an indication of something more. The extraplanar veil is delicate, and as Leith correctly outlined, many are persecuted for their tamperings with it. If this man's arrival is an indication of the wear around the shrine, I would be concerned for extraplanar activities, and to outfit yourselves as such. Poisons for fiends, I would imagine, is relatively pertinent, but prepare for aberrations most of all. Though the shrine is quite avoided by the Edelmava tribes, there are accountings of odd wildlife that could be still linked to the eking Pandora between the gaps in the sigils. Understand that I will await to send you before we hear what the man has to say, but time is of the essence, and be ready for that. Things are changing, and I don't think it will wait for us to complete that change.
Do you have any books or notes on the aberrations and fiends that might be common here?
Yes, one of the nomadic tribes passed through recently. They had their own doctor of sorts, an anatomical person. I'm unsure of the Mava name for it, but he was well versed. I'll gather some of his notes and have them sent to you. Are you capable of speaking Mava?
No, unfortunately.
Then I will prepare a scroll to allow you to do so. It should give you a couple of hours. It's easier here than other places.
Yes. Attached to that question, while you prepare those, do you have any documents on deities?
A sporadic few, yes. Any in particular, or just the subject matter?
The subject matter.
I'll see what I can gather. There is someone in town that would know much more than I do, though. Please wait while I consult my own notes. I know the NPC's name. Haha. There's a lady, an older woman. She's locally known as Grandmother Au. A.U. She is a self-proclaimed cleric of the Shroud. Rather well-respected figure and quite rich, I suppose. I'm not sure how, but it is none of my concern. She has been kind in my few interactions.
Okay, she is kind. My last few interactions with women have been frightening. Well then, I will give her a visit. Then I appreciate that.
To the southwest, you should see a large shrine. It looks like a snake roiling over itself, made of solid gold. Quite an opulent piece. You can't really miss it. She's often there and occasionally gives sermons, but I believe arrangements for a meeting can be made.
Yes, thank you.
Any other questions? Yep, good.
Okay, I'm just gonna say this over the course of the last little bit, especially at the table and now while moving. Lee's been writing in a journal-like book.
Mm-hmm.
He would, they would take the page out of that, fold it in two, and pass it to Antonio. It would contain everything they stated so far, and the observations made at the site. You said that you made the distinct statement that it felt the presence made during the Arcana check was reminiscent. I think you used the for the Countless Steps, yes?
Yes, yeah, the Countless Steps of Haven. Yeah.
That would be on the note, and then his own Lee's own parallel drama between how the man seemed and what he would know of Celestials, and then there would be a quick note on the flames and the nature as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, this may be of some use in further research.
He will rapidly take in the information. You can see his eyes sort of skipping through segments that have been informed to him. He pauses on the almost confirmation of his own supposition about some kind of celestial interference, and nodding to himself. Does your note outline that the flames left a scorch mark along your arm or hand?
Yes.
Okay. He will make a mental note of that. And then fold up the note. You can see he carefully places it within a ledger that he keeps on the inside pocket of his own jacket. The ledger itself has a couple of different sheets of parchment that are sort of sticking out. You imagine this is like the shorthand of stuff that he needs to catalog. He'll pop it in. It is concerning to some degree. The Countless Steps are a very enjoyable storybook, but not quite so enjoyable when pieces of it come hurtling down. We in the West have dealt with a celestial or two, and never have they been particularly kind to deal with. I will seek report from them, but it will be some time before I hear anything back. The courier service is good, but somewhat slow.
Yes, I do believe that it is the influence of something more than man to summon such a thing from the sky. I do not know of many that could do so.
Just the material cost alone would be more than many men's fortune. Gold is nice and all, but the reality of rare minerals would supposit that only in a place like Barakas this could even be viable. But even then, their city is 20% of what history would dictate it used to be. Its opulence, according to record. He adds with almost a sneer, was one to rival the great trees of the elves. But I do not suspect such abnormalities would be related to there. So it is, as you say, more an outsider pushing in than somebody calling something in. Concerning, nevertheless. Still, you need books on faith. Does anyone else need research material while I'm here?
Yes, Archivist. I'm somewhat of a naturalist myself, and seeing as I'm in a new area with this amazing library here, I would appreciate it if you could send some books on the local wildlife, or perhaps the mineral composition of the area, if you have any.
Oh, yes, of course. That should be no issue. I will pack it in with the aberrant records Miss Kisim asked for. That way you can see what the presumed natural is and then the apparent unnatural.
Thank you. It would be much appreciated.
Not a problem. If there is no other questions, I will begin to compile your reading needs.
I doubt there's research on things I would be interested in here.
He looks
Do you have any
wounded by
research?
this.
Do not mistake
Wow.
that for arrogance, but my interest lay in the creeping ash, and this place is quite far.
He will give a resigned nod. The subject matter clearly not being something he is well versed in, he lets the topic kind of drop.
Perhaps Nicholas might have some information on that.
I this is his library. I don't think he does, but it's not. I'll ask. How about that?
Maybe he will be happy that somebody asked something of him.
Leith, you didn't have to say it out loud.
Antonio's entire
Wow.
expression does like the anime like fucking. He went from like normal flesh and blood to like flat 2D shock. His eyes bulge a little bit.
What is wrong with my statement?
There's a bluntness to your words, Leith, that you must control.
It's fine. I will make sure he is kept company.
And I'm gonna go check on the young lass and our companion.
When you send over the books for Tyrannus, do you have anything about the thread spinner?
A few meager reports. There is a confluence that would dictate the celestial pinpricks in the night sky are actually messages given by the thread spinner. There's a sect of the Order of the Lost Comet that is rather devout to that particular theory. I will send what I have to you. That is not
Thank
a
you.
problem.
He'll make his way out.
You know, I had initially supposed that perhaps he was so dense that he fell from the skies like the rock upon my spear, both being more dense than a usual rock or person is. But I suppose celestial influence makes more sense than that.
It would. He also has gold flaking from him and within the crater. Gold is rather dense, as far as my understanding goes. If he has some kind of odd composition, then it would factor for it. It would make him a very wanted man, however, so I am hoping that is not the case. There are many men who would bleed him dry, and not for anything other than wealth. They
Unfortunate indeed.
I suppose having gold for blood does make you a little bit denser. Yes.
Indeed, it would.
You all begin to head off. The Archivist will go back to continuing his divination ritual. A ritual only really viable to those that are arcanely inclined that can detect this. There is a lot of money he is spending to cast this spell, and it is taking a long time. You get the impression that though he is a powerful spellcaster, the upper limits or further tiers take a while. Anyway, Kasim, you go down to speak to the lady, who is currently trying to look very important.
I'm more so like walking and peering over her shoulder to see what she's doing.
You see she has a journal out. She is a rather fine quill. The plumage on it looks well taken care of, but not in the manner that perhaps you would be used to in Ericlast. This isn't arcanely lacquered or preserved in any way. This is just a feather that has been oiled and treated in a very mundane manner. It has this sort of shock of yellow plumage that tinges blue at the edges. She is writing in a language you do not understand, because she is also an Edelmod.
So you are Dr. Ian's apprentice?
Oh, She kind of sits up a little bit. Yes, my name is Shannon. I only started working with her recently. I've known her for a time. She is a very skilled woman.
Not going to say what I thought out loud. Well, you seem very confident and learned in what you do. What do you think is wrong with him? Outside of, the fact that he's not breathing and growing gold from his skin.
Well, traditional anatomy would state that where there is a lack of consciousness, there is a restricted blood flow or airflow. The fact of the matter is, there is some kind of airflow, but his blood is thick, almost a syrupy consistency. Perhaps the impact did in fact knock him out as we have supposed, and that it is just taking longer for the air to reach where it needs to go. I don't quite understand where his lungs could be. The traditional ribcage of Humani isn't present. It is more akin to... There's a branch of tiefling, I'm unsure of your familiarity. They're quite bug-like. Pindicine, they have an exoskeleton, like a carapace. And inside of them it is all meat, of course, but they do have organs. The fact this man has neither is rather confounding. I would presume it is airflow and perhaps a spell upon his mind in some capacity. If he did in fact fall from the heavens, the shock of such a transposition might have killed him before he even landed. It is better that he is like this than a corpse.
Yes, he is. She would just like rub the brow. I've met some interesting people today, and this is just topping it. I'm going to walk around a bit, but when I'm back, should you need any help, seek me out. I'll be nearby.
And if you need any help learning to tie knots, I'm quite good. She'll wink and flash a smile. You can see, even though it's covered by the scarf, the edges of her, the skin around her cheeks sort of pulls up. So the party have received their loose assignment and are waiting on a result from the attempted resuscitation and restoration of the strange man that they have acquired. Shannon, the young Edelmava, does her best to track breathing rhythm and other vital signs as she can. Her notations become rather scrawled in the latter half of the night as each of you finally receive your pieces of research. She will call out, Veldra, Antonio, Miss Kasim, you said you were a medic?
Oh, that's the table. Oh, God. Grumpapus is over here.
His breathing is different. It's been steady, but now it's a bit more rapid. There's eye movement underneath his eyelids. She will reach up and, with sort of very manicured, trimmed nails, pull his eyelid back, revealing almost a circular disc of gold where his iris should be. And I noticed this. There is some consciousness. We may attempt to rouse him, whether by, cold water generally will shock the system. He seems to be running quite hot. It's consistent. I at first assumed it was the impact that had done it, but he is a warm-blooded, gold-blooded, whatever the definition would be.
would make a tinge of sense if the liquid gold pouring through his body was warm, I guess. Yes, I can go fetch some cold water. Perhaps we should, I'm sure the table will be fine if he wakes up erratically, and Veldra is here, should he, lash out.
She'll smile, not understanding the sarcasm in that. The Archivist will rush over and pull out a notebook and also begin to catalog the information as she relays it.
I will go fetch a bucket of cold water.
You walk through the library, heading towards a sort of bathing area. It's rather opulent, the kind of thing that you were used to up in Ericlast, where magical runes of transposition deal with the fact of life of dealing with human waste. And there is in fact running water here, though you suspect it to similarly be conjured in large vats and transported here. It doesn't take very long for you to realize that there is no assistance that you can speak to, only those strange shades that seem to hover about and manipulate the books in some manner.
What, down and wave at one?
Oh, you wave towards one, and it does not acknowledge you. It continues drifting.
Archivist, can one of your little helpers assist me in getting a bucket of water?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. You hear a voice from right behind your ear go, "It's fine.
Oh my god."
It." As Nicholas will apparate next to you holding an empty bucket.
Thank you, Nicholas.
Yes, everyone wants the bucket.
I do require some water inside of it, however.
He will
if you
blink
don't mind.
audibly at you. And
Jesus
then
Christ.
point past your shoulder back into the water closet. There is running water, should you require it. I am not a manservant.
Well, of course, I wasn't saying you were a manservant. I was just... I'm gonna go get the water now.
Good.
If I turn around and get the water and then turn back around, is he still there?
No, he's gone.
Messy steps again.
You did not hear footsteps, nor did you hear just about anything. It seems as he left your sight line, it is almost like object permanence became a difficult thing for you as he fades into the midst of the library.
There was a breath she was trying to hold in and be quiet, like how you're in the middle of class and not trying to cough.
Yep.
It is exactly how she was breathing. Gonna walk back towards everybody while also trying not to get jump scared by Nicholas again, should he decide to appear.
You come back in, and Shannon seems to be doing a similar action as to what you had done initially. She is undoing the knot that you had rushedly woven and bears the man's skin to the cool air. Oh, good. Bring it here, please.
Put it down, and as she's passing the archivist, I think Nicholas is interesting, quiet.
I'll be sure to tell him.
No need. No need. Just stating, just making small talk.
He is a strange
Please don't tell Nicholas I said he was anything.
Okay. Are you okay, Miss Kassim? You look like you've seen a ghost. There's many unseen servants here.
You have a unseen servant as well. I mean, I guess he's your boss, so I shouldn't say that. Anyways, here's the water. Let's focus on the person that isn't fading into the shadows.
Shannon will pay no mind to what you're saying and produces a small bundle of rags, sort of unraveling a segment of them before raising it up. It is the first real glimpse you see to the lower portion of her face, as you see the almost feline-like sharp teeth of the Edelmava as she bites on the edge of the bandage and tears it, ripping off about a 1.5 foot long segment. She will dip it in the water before folding it over itself and pressing it against the man's forehead. She will similarly get another 2 strips, slightly shorter this time, and rapidly does the same thing, but she will bind the man's bare feet. This should at least deal with some of it. His eyes are still moving, but... well, where medicine fails, practicality exists. She will click her fingers and cast a cantrip. Some kind of druidic green hums from behind her fingernails as she does so. And the water sort of begins to lift out of the bucket in this undulating blob above the man's head. Step back. She will move away from the table slightly. The Archivist will similarly move away. Here goes nothing. And she will click her fingers again, and the green hue will fade, and the undulating blob of water will splash down on the man's head. Lurian. The broker was a weird man. The sand underneath your feet seemed to run away from you as if it was repulsed by you, and you felt yourself falling, rapidly, hurtling as golden flames tinged the edge of your vision. It was an odd sensation, not helped by the sense of confusion that the entire situation held you under. Your dreams, however, were more strange. You know the consciousness left you soon after the flames met you, as the gold hue dulled into the dark blackness of sleep, or some approximation of it. In your dreams, you were walking around a large chapel, at least you presume by the interior architecture. There are ornate golden scales embedded into walls of polished marble. There is a grain to the material, however, not quite a smooth texture, as if it were quarried haphazardly, or perhaps that is part of the charm. The figures and silhouettes that you see walking in this hallway with you are just that. Shadowy edges where the insinuation of flesh and facial features blur into a black miasma like oil running off the edge of a painting. It is strange, however, that as you are walking, your feet feel cold. You look down and you had been descending a set of steps. Ahead of you is the outside of this palace, and behind you is a sprawling city. Great walls and spires dot the horizon. But your feet are wet. The pond you stand in is shallow, almost like a divot in the architecture that has collected too much rainwater. There is no heart to quicken in your chest, but your breathing turns panicked as the semi-solid floor below you falls away. It is not dissimilar to the sand of the broker, and you feel yourself drowning as water begins to flood your lungs. What do you do?
I try to swim up.
You begin to move your arms, a difficult motion at the best of times. The weight of your faith and your dedication to your craft is a mantle you bear willingly, but it is a heavy one. You understand that small movements in shallow water will net you the result you want, but the dim light of the sky above is hurriedly rushing away from you. You are far too dense to be swimming.
I guess he's going to feel to see if he has his coin pouch on him.
At your side, woven to your robe on the inside, a pocket that many would miss holds a small pouch of coin. It does seem to be on your person.
I think he's going to take a yeah, we'll go with silver. One of the silver coins. And or I guess a pair of the silver coins and unclasp them and try to will himself upward.
You hold the coins in your hand, the magnetism seemingly unperturbed by the flowing waters around you. There is a dull hum of energy, an incantation perhaps, as you will yourself upwards. But water has never been an element that you would ever choose. But your Pandoran network, the veins of mana that travel through your body, recognizes the panic and the attempt. A spell is conjured. Not quite one that would allow you to traverse the terrain, but perhaps one that would allow you to defy it. A word is spoken. It reverberates through the water, agnostic of the density and weight that it holds. The language is one that evades your mind even now, but instinct taking over, you command the water. What command would you like to give the water?
Part.
Your palms burn ever so slightly. The conductivity of your magic and the force of your word burn them to cinders as the water above you parts. You gasp in ragged breaths of clean air as the darkness recedes. There is wood at your back. You must have been falling backwards, at least that's your presumption, when the floor gave away, that you had tilted in some manner. The area around you is wet, as are the figures that stand at your bedside, shall we call it. The rest of you watched as the almost panicked form of the man reached hurriedly into a pocket, his eyes still flitting against the back of his eyelids as he produced a almost rectangle of metal. Deftly he parted them, as if it were a magnetic clasp or something magical that bound the two together, and with a word of a language none of you understand, ushered a command that sent all water within a 10-foot radius away from himself. The bandage on his forehead is no longer wet. The bandages on his feet the same. And each of you stood at the wayside are now drenched in about half a liter of water, or just over half a gallon. I forget what the conversion is. Shannon will wipe at her face, annoyed. Well, it seems we have signs of life.
Hooray.
She will clutch at the chair in front of her and utter an incantation in Druidic. Lurian, you feel the table underneath you grow limbs and wrap around your elbows and your knees. Enough to keep you contained, but not quite enough to make you feel completely immobilized. She speaks in a language that isn't known to you, but it translates almost with a small buffer. She continues, "You, mister, have been in an awful lot of trouble. So, are you going to keep splashing us with water, or do you want to have a conversation and perhaps a meal?"
Where? What? Where am I?
You were in the
Why have you bound me?
Because you splashed water at me with an incantation.
I was drowning. Nobody else was there.
She squints, picks up her notebook that now has water on it, will mutter another incantation and will slowly draw the water out of it. There's ink coming along with it, and there is a fury in her eyes. Whatever dream you were having, it is over. You are in the city of O-Shash, which you so kindly entered via comet. Whatever nonsense and arcane machinations you have at your disposal, I would kindly ask that you keep them to yourself, because the only reason you are still alive and not a pincushion is because of the interference of trusted individuals. Are we clear?
For now.
Good. You may clothe yourself. She will pause briefly, depositing the inky water into the bucket as she had withdrawn water from prior. And then tap on the table, and as she does, the same dull green hue sort of emanates from behind her fingertips as the table contorts and returns to its original form, no longer binding you. She will then go back to slowly, painstakingly trying to remove water from her journal.
I'm sorry. Is that a bucket? Did you splash water on me?
You were unconscious and running a fever. You also don't have a heartbeat. It was an attempt to bring you back to consciousness, and one I regret taking.
Should have done it the old way.
Well, it seems like your things are wet, and they look quite sensitive to water. So I will apologize, though the accident was unintentional, for the inconveniences.
Your apology is accepted. She will turn and begin speaking to an elven man north of you. Archivist, do you wish for me to alert Dr. Yin and the guard, or do you want to speak with him first? Oh, let's have a civil conversation first. The general is a pushy man. Have it your way. I will remain here then. Shannon will take a chair, drag it back about 15 feet, collect her stuff, and slowly begin to de-waterlog all of it.
I apologize for my indecency, and but why am I unclothed exactly? The last state that I was in, I was fully robed.
Well, you streaked across the sky, plummeted into the desert. We had to make sure you were alive, which involved disrobing your many layers.
You couldn't just check my breathing?
Yes, see, that's the issue. You are breathing, but that is about the only thing you are doing. There is
yes,
no,
and?
There is no heartbeat. You have no, well, I guess, normal blood. And your eyes, well, there's a great many things about you that are not living. So, yes, we had to disrobe you to try and figure out what was wrong.
Yeah. Lorena, as this woman delivers her report, there's a few oddities that you notice. Though the specifics evade you, humanoid creatures with pointed ears are not uncommon. An 8-foot-tall woman with almost ram's horns certainly is not normal, and probably is as abnormal to you as the things she is saying about you are to her. There is also a man that seems to be dressed up like a potted plant, which is absolutely ridiculous. And that lizard is probably someone's pet.
To be quite honest, you've left me quite... I'm sorry, did that thing just speak?
That is entirely rude. That thing is
I
a
am a
lord.
lord.
You
He's a
may
noble.
lord over whatever house that you may presume, but I would prefer to speak to the civilized.
Oh,
Don't you like his
I don't
scribe
like
or
this
something,
guy.
Marcus? Oh, okay.
No.
All right.
I don't work for him at all in any way, shape, or form.
insolent, falling, dense.
He's screaming, so I'm gonna go cover my ears and go over here.
I
Hey, buddy,
suppose if
what else
you
do you think of the
would not
dragon?
like to entertain conversation with me, then I shall simply ponder my question on my own.
I will say that I've also been victim to the indecency of conversation. My name is Lurian. However, nobody else has deemed fit to include me on any information going out here, except for the young waterlogged woman over there.
Oh, you just. I don't have it in me.
So it is away.
Indeed, unfortunately.
I'm sorry. I just gave my name.
My apologies. I
It
was
does seem
just
to be
making
away.
my way down. I don't think I quite caught that.
Then if you didn't hurt, then that is fine. Lurian is my name.
He makes fun of the
Yeah.
lizard, but he talks to the faceless guy just fine.
In fact, Lurian, Leith is... that's a respectable, upstanding citizen. I would love to say that that's part of a running bit. That is canon to the setting. That is a presumably to your intuition. That is somebody who is such a high status that they have defied their mortal coil and put themselves in a construct. That is an upstanding citizen.
I will go over off the table. It is a pleasure to meet you. Might I get your name, sir?
Oh, yes. My name is Leith.
Leith. I will be sure to remember the day that I have met Sir Leith.
Yes,
By the way, for the
certain-
rest of you, the first look is free, but every look after you must pay for. As he is putting on his robes.
The Archivist chuckles.
The only thing that must be paid for is your insolence.
I'm sorry, did I address you? No, I was speaking to the civilized people.
I'm sorry. Am I a minuscule bastard who fell from the skies?
I'm sorry, did you just walk out of the jungle, not taught any lessons about manners?
I'm sorry, did you?
Sick 'em, boy.
Right. This is certainly
I
a
would not
day
bring
to be
violence to a library,
remembered.
but you irritate me like a bug. I would swat as it drinks my blood.
I'm sure that the many nights that you have spent outside, you have had to deal with many bugs, so you're quite
Indeed.
used to it.
We can take it to the yard if you want, Tyrannus.
Sorry, just
Carry it
to interject, you don't think it's quite rude to insult and bicker with the people that saved your life, whether you agree with their civilized natures or not?
I'm sorry, but when I woke up, I was disrobed and just coming back from having been near drowned to my knowledge. So, pardon me if I haven't woken up on the right side of the table.
Well, I mean, it's better than being
Also,
dead, right?
quite the place to put someone who you fear is dead is a table instead of, I don't know, a bedside.
Sorry, I wasn't aware that saving your life meant we had to do it in the most comfortable manner. Oh, yes, because you're so... and she'll look you up and down. Important.
And what exactly did you do to save my life?
Picked you up out of a burning hole.
She's actually the
You
one
were-
that carried you back.
You were enveloped in flames.
Indeed, you were.
Was I being burned to death?
We
I remember those
No.
flames being actually quite comfortable.
I believe they were
You didn't burn, not
protective
surprisingly.
measure.
Should we just go drop him back off in the desert?
Yes, we should.
I would think so. In
The
fact, we
archivist-
should bury him while we're at it.
It
The
was
archivist
it was
will-
a jest.
will speak up. I understand that all of this is very new, and you were. Let's fix this. You are in the Library of Sand, Mr. Lurian. I am Archivist Antonio Mer. I hail from the west. I work with the Order of the Lost Comet, and I intend to excavate a shrine of unusual happenings in this area, and you happen to be an unusual happening. I would ask that you do not insult those that have in fact been hired by myself and did aid in your recovery. As the young woman noted, had they not been there, the likelihood of you being turned into a pincushion for fear of what you are when you awaken would have been quite high. So, if nothing else, you owe them a modicum of respect for the time being. At least in this library.
And I take it you are the overseer of this library?
Not exactly. There is a individual named Nicholas who works here. He is a wise old elven gentleman.
I see. Well, as it still seems that you hold some say in this area, I will abide in your request, and I shall try to overturn our unfortunate meeting and attempt to be more polite.
Very good. Now, as for proper introductions, I will go ahead, because you seem to be lacking some context. We will delve into that later, but the large man is in fact a lord. Regardless of how you view a civilization, he is a noted member of standing. The construct behind you is wise beyond any of our recountings. The man to your side, battle-tested and worthy of respect in the faculties that should you become threatened, it will be him first to defend you. The man behind me is a renowned cartographer by my current estimations and guide. And the lady, whom you also seem to not get along with, perhaps it is a height thing, hails from a prestigious, arcanely inclined family. Just keep those facts in mind, that you are among skillful individuals. I would ask what you are capable of, but perhaps this is a better question. What are you?
Dear Archivist, I am an ASMR that has been blessed by the gods.
He'll raise an eyebrow. Oh. I suppose that
Yes.
makes sense. But I suppose the obvious question is, why have you fallen from the sky?
You see, I am in a precarious situation, as I am unaware of that fact myself. My appearance and I guess proclivities towards the unnatural would have to do with the fact of me trading my memories, making me uncertain of what all is going on towards this situation.
Must have been a
The
mighty
last I
bargain.
know, I was on the countless steps to Haven and wound up, well, on the table.
Must have been a mighty bargain. That you would give years of lived experience for what? What could possibly compel you?
Devotion.
He'll squint.
What else would have one trade their entire life for but to devote oneself to a higher being?
He'll call over his shoulder. Kasim, your meeting with Grandmother Ao may come sooner rather than later. Conversations upon religious proclivities are not my strong suit, so I'd rather trust her. I'll arrange for that come the morning. There is not much room here. I can organize rooms in a nearby tavern for you all to stay in, unless you would prefer to crash here, I suppose.
Is that funny? Do you find that funny?
He'll chuckle to himself.
Lorian will kind of break the facade. I found that funny as well.
Yeah.
It was good.
I did not mean this, but perhaps it was on my mind.
Humor.
Kasim, only you from right beside you hear a faint chuckle, and then it fades.
She is chuckling as well. Perhaps our little guest would like to crash here and not offend any more locals that he deems unfitting of society. It'd be a shame for him to be pincushioned in his sleep for disrespecting somebody with less patience.
Indeed, it
Be a
would.
real shame.
That
A
is
tragic shame.
That is a fair point.
Yeah.
As I
Well, the rest
heard
of
it,
us,
it seems
however,
that I have some sort of protection going on, so it's not like I am unskilled myself. So maybe we don't threaten, and we remain, as the Archivist asked, civil.
I'm sorry, did somebody hear a threat in my words? You've insulted not one, but two nobles, and
Did I not say that I would try to turn a new leaf? But it seems like you are caught in the past.
I think
Oh,
she was just
goodness.
letting you know that the city, that the elves here were different. They're not
I'm
savages.
simply
but
letting you
they-
know. There are humani here with far less patience than your words would be forgiven. Take it as you will, as a threat or whatever you deem it is. Your care is in the. She'll like give a side glance to the sassy little elf next to him. You know what? Actually, you're perfect for each other. Do what you want.
The contemplations of threat are rapidly interrupted as the door to the south of you is kicked open by a gold gauntleted foot. It is not
Oh, it's
Dr.
not
Yin.
Dr. Yin.
Oh,
I immediately was like, it's not
Fuck.
Dr. Yin.
that's
Each
Why
of
are you
you
sweating?
see a large man. He is about 6 foot to 6'8". Somewhere in that middle range, he has a large ornate helmet donned atop of a golden faceplate, a grill covering his mouth in a wide, almost smile. He is heavily armored. You see scimitar on one side, a longsword on the other, a spear across his back, and what you can presume to be some kind of throwing implements that are layered on top of the chainmail undershirt that he has on. The door creaks on its hinges as he does not pay it any mind whatsoever and continues to storm inwards. The Archivist stands, somewhat shocked, and puts his hands up, going, "Oh, General, we were just about to report to you." "I don't care! This is my city! You had a man land from the sky, and now I can see he's awake. You are a fool! Intruder! Bleed!" He will hoist the spear off his back and begin to take aim against Lurian.
What does Shannon look like in this moment?
Shocked and like she wants to be on the wall and away from this.
But she's not going to intervene.
No. She has more sense than that.
Well, I was unfortunately hired to protect him, so I'm going to cast... No, I'm not. I'm going to hold. I'm going to hold an action.
What
Please
action are
calm
you
yourself.
Oh. That's fine, Kasim. Go ahead, Leith. The general hoists the spear and then looks down towards the construct. "Another stranger? Pity you can't bleed."
That I cannot. But please do not try to make that one bleed either.
There's a squint behind the mask. He takes note not just of your words, but of the Archivist's negligence to stand aside, and also Shannon's half shock, and will pause a moment. "Speak, then."
At least, at the current moment, this one possesses no threat to you, this city, or its people. Not that one would be immediately apparent.
The head tilts back. There is an intake of air that you can hear whistle through the golden grate that makes up his mouth. He will slowly lower the spear, still keeping it in his hand. "Archivist, you should have told me immediately, as soon as an angel blood wakes, especially one that has arrived under such circumstances." The Archivist kind of turns a rougher shade of red as he is chastised and just goes, "General, I simply wanted to ascertain his knowledge." "And if that knowledge was in languages you couldn't understand, and you were rendered into a pile of mush, no bones, what then? Death would be too kind for a fool like you." The Archivist has no retort to this, but still does not move out of the way. He is conflicted between academic interest and fear of the man ahead of him. "It's an awful lot of silence. I understand that a library calls for it, but not quite so when a stranger wakes up in your bed. Come then, Angel Blood, speak your name."
Yes, my name is Lurian. And yours might be, sir?
General L. Draman. I own this city as far as its safety is concerned. You are a threat under most circumstances. Give me a reason why I shouldn't consider it so.
I shall first off start by apologizing, General. I did not realize that you were in charge of this area. I also did not intend any harm towards anyone nor the surrounding area. However, I have been made aware of the circumstances and see how a capable gentleman such as yourself would take that as a potential risk. And I can only respect you for attempting to corral the possible intruder that may mean uh, the safety of the city is tampered with. However, I mean no harm. And as soon as all of the investigation and whatever anyone wishes to know that I may be able to provide is over with, I intend to go on my way and be free of your I shall free your city of my unwanted presence, it seems.
Roll me your choice of persuasion or performance. The general will look to the archivist and then back at Lurian. It seems he is trying to see if there is corroboration on the story, but on the presumed lie. The archivist does believe Lurian, but is holding his tongue. This causes the general a moment of pause. After that moment, Lurian, if that is actually your name, there's one rule. I suppose one condition. It seems that you are rather attached to your head upon your shoulders. So you will do this, or you will die. He will reach, into the side of the, sort of fur cloak. And you can see, more of the throwing implements he has, adhered to the chainmail, and he will pull off an ornate gold dagger. He then will reach into a pouch at his back and pull out a vial and uncork it. He will offer both to the archivist, who will take them, not quite understanding, and then will carry them back to Lurian. Bleed into it!
Yes, General. And he will make a cut across his palm and bleed into the vial.
Thick, golden liquid oozes from your wound and slowly begins to collect in the vial. Once it is about 80% full, the archivist gestures for you to cork it. Shannon makes no move to cover your wound. She is still quite unnerved. But the archivist will carry the vial and the dagger back to the general. Good. I'll be watching. He will turn on his heel. As he does so, he will begin to walk out. He will kick out the second of the double doors and make his exit. Lurian, it takes no kind of check, nor for Lees or anyone with Arcana trained, and especially not for Veldra. Should Lurian ever piss in the wrong direction, he can now be tracked across several miles. You cannot avoid this with anti-divination, as it is an Edelmava tracking technique that is racially effectively a superpower of theirs. The archivist sweats loudly. Shannon exhales a held breath.
That went worse than expected, but better than it could have.
I apologize, Archivist. It seems like I have brought more trouble to your door than, well, I intended, even bringing to anyone's door.
There's not many doors anymore. The general is a hot blooded man, but a effective one. I do not need to echo any suggestion he has given. This was to happen eventually. I just had hoped to gather what information I can about you to help make your case. Shannon will come over. She contemplates a moment between taking one of the bandages that you had freshly wet or simply repurposing one of the dry ones upon you. She opts to repurpose the one that had been resting on your head and begins to bandage the gash across your palm.
Does that wound need to be closed?
If you can. She will make way for you.
Liz will walk up, reach over. I'll use whatever requisite amount of this for lay on hands to close the wound.
Enough for it to bandage is only like one. It is a self-inflicted, rather shallow wound. The dagger didn't seem to bite into any tendons or ligaments, maybe surprisingly, but the shock of the moment kind of obscures that information. And she will then bandage the freshly closed wound to ensure any seepage or stress upon it is mitigated. Thank you, Mr. Leith. It was very kind.
Yes, Sir Leith. Thank you. And thank you as well. I believe I heard it was Shannon someone referred to you as. Thank you for seeing to me.
It's my job. Don't... She kind of cuts herself off, finishes tying the bandage, and then will return over here in the I'm not a part of all this nonsense pile. Well, that was eventful.
Oh, yes, very. We'll try to avoid a personal meeting with the general.
I don't know. I think he was rather fond of me.
Very. I'd hate to feel so important right now.
Maybe you should stay here, Lurian. Not for fear of you offending the locals, but for fear that the general changes his mind should he see you again. Let's not give him an unwelcome reminder so soon. I will ensure food is fetched and that you are given a... We have some reading cubbies, perhaps a few blankets will make do, at least for the short term.
I will take what I will and give whatever I can in return.
He will nod. Well, the rest of you, would you like a tavern? There's the genie's lamp, just a little bit down the road.
Oh, yes. Leith, will you be staying here or coming to the tavern?
Well, I suppose question related to that. So he's gonna be doing whatever ritual he was doing earlier.
Yep.
In that case, Leith would speak. I will, if possible, remain here. I do not require, as you may already know, sustenance in the form that most do, and I am rather curious to watch the ongoings of your ritual.
Alright, well,
Antonio will nod.
you know where to find me. I will... you said probably not tonight. Tomorrow, I'd speak with Grandmother O.
Yes. She should come here anyway for Lurian. I will send a missive. You may be here to catch her before, during, or after, I assume. Whatever works, I will ensure that she will be present.
Alright. Well, then I'm going to go walk and eat, and perhaps I'll return here for a bit. Lord Tyrannus, uncivilized, would you like to join the equally uncivilized for some food?
Yes, I think I may even endeavor a drink after the happenings today. But first I would like to ask Lurian. So you said you felt like you were drowning earlier. Are you too physically dense to swim? This is something I'm curious about.
Yes.
Yes. I unfortunately am unable to swim. Not for lack of effort, but simply biologically. I cannot maintain my head above water.
All right. No, I apologize for my outburst earlier.
Then I shall apologize for, well, assuming that you were so uncivilized. There seems to be many cultures here that I am unfamiliar with, and so it was rather rash of me, despite my rather panicked and state due to being in an unusual place surrounded by many unfamiliar people gawking. But yes, I apologize for assuming that you were much lower than you are. Would you prefer to be referred to as my lord, or what would you like of me?
Lord Rex is fine.
Then Lord Rex it shall be.
Farewell.
Farewell.
Excuse me.
No, Shannon will look up at you, tilting her head.
Well, can't take your arm, so pats you on the calf. Off we go.
Archivist, I may need your help getting out the door.
Oh, here you go. He'll snap his fingers and you'll shrink. Veldra, are you staying here?
Yeah.
Cool. Shannon is also staying here. Marcus, are you going to the tavern?
Yeah, but he's gonna wait for them to leave. He's gonna just walk around on his own for a bit.
You got it. You're gonna walk around alone. Kasim and Tyrannus are going to head over to the genie's lamp.
Yep.
You walk across, not too far away, and you make your way towards the genie's lamp. You enter in. As you do so, you see a few individuals seated around the place. There's a woman at the bar. There is a large dwarven man that Lord Tyrannus has spoken to once before named Dante, who does not seem to boast a beard, but instead a wide braided mustache, who sort of smiles as you come in. He goes, "Right, oh, a little smaller than I remember you to be."
Indeed, it is strange being reduced to this size,
He'll sort
but
of,
interesting.
he'll usher you guys over. You, my lady, name's Dante, owner, proprietor, shrugs.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm, you can call me Kasim. I'm not fond of using titles.
I wouldn't remember it anyway.
Sounds good.
What can I do for you?
I wish to forget meeting a very irksome person. At least for a moment.
Roll me a persuasion check. Looking for a 15 or higher.
Oh, Jesus.
Dante will smile wide, give you a knowing wink, and go, well, I've, got a couple brews in the back. Probably take your mind off of things for the meanwhile. That's fine. That's for the little lady. And you, Mr. Tyrannus?
I have heard that a drink has a different effect on small folk than it does on myself in my usual size, so I'm quite curious. How about just something of a moderate strength? I would like to see how that feels.
More of an ale or a wine guy?
I prefer mead when I can get it. Hard to find. Lack of bees on a mountain.
Well, not many in a desert either. Listen.
I don't know much about the desert.
Both of you asking for some, let's call them exotic offerings. We're talking 10, 15 gold a bottle. It's better to buy it by the bottle. It's going to be the freshest. You both fine with that?
Yeah.
Certainly.
Let me check. She'll like go rummaging through her bag. That's fine. I'm sure that's fine. I'm going to treat myself. I deserve it.
Oh, you do. Seems like you've come a ways. Let me just get those drinks for you. He's going to walk over here to the small, what looks to be trapdoor on the floor. He will tap it and then vanish down a hole.
Oh, it seems you know that fellow.
Yes, I met him before. We were actually just in this this tavern before the charge there fell from the, if you could call him that. I don't know what really to say, but before he plummeted from the skies.
We as in you and Marcus?
Yes.
Is he a friend of yours? You said he does not work for you.
No, I mean, he works with me. He works with me, but in almost a for me sense. He was hired to not only to guide me down the mountain, but that was part of the job he received. I met him a few months ago in Veracas.
A pleasant fellow. Is he always so, Marcus?
Yes, quite.
Well, I guess I will, enjoy the sights and...
The same as you were discussing the intricacies of Tyrannus's and Mercus's relationship, so you may further understand just what you were traveling with. The noise of loud eating interrupts your train of thought. You see a grung, a frog person, not a very common occurrence that far north, but there's been a couple, enough for you to know their name and general physiology. He sports a couple of decorative head feathers that are tucked under a sort of bone mantle around his neck. There's a large staff with some kind of lizard head mounted atop it. Currently, he is squat on the table, eating incredibly loudly. There is almost no chewing, just gumming and swallowing rapidly. You watch as he takes a haunch of what you could presume to be lamb or some other large drumstick of meat, and he will stick the entire thing in his mouth before sucking and pulling a cleaned bone out, cracking the cleaned bone, and then sucking the marrow out from the inside and setting it aside on a pile of bones that is almost as tall as him.
Oh my. Tyrannus, have you ever met a grung before? They are a truly interesting species. Well,
I
people.
cannot say that I see many of them in Troda.
Yes, I didn't know one, but my mother and my grandmother tell me they knew of one. He was large and red and angry. A kind fellow. The writing about him is interesting, but yes,
They say
If
he
you
was
ever-
large.
he was large. They were like his neck didn't exist. It was head and then shoulders, and then his arm was big as my head or bigger.
And he is a grung, yet with a body of that size is quite fascinating.
Yes, it is. It is said he staved off the cold with sheer anger alone.
That
Mhm.
is an interesting tale.
Yes, I've always wanted to meet a grung, and he doesn't exactly give off the same image. Perhaps, different shapes and sizes and whatnot. Do you think it'd be rude to walk over and talk to him?
As you
He is
contemplate
eating
the
after all.
By the way,
As you contemplate the question, the hatch clunks open, and Dante will jump up from below, carrying 2 large bottles. He will set one in front of Lord Tyrannus, which is a blueberry mead. The sort of coverings on the large glass bottle have intricate paintings of blueberries in bloom. It doesn't seem to have a source or brand or any kind of indicator. It is just blueberries on a bottle. He'll set it down. In front of Kasim, which he will place with a small wink, is what looks like white wine. It isn't quite clear. It is almost a pale color, and you can tell on the bottom of the glass, embossed on the glass, is a skull and crossbones, and floating inside of it is a bone of some description. Likely a finger bone, you would guess.
Oh, quite interesting. He will tap at the side of the bottle, assuming you're supposed to drink this in spurts, shots. I believe is what it's called.
I mean, I'm just
Sips.
selling the drink. I won't tell you how to drink it, but I would suggest a touch of moderation. But that'll be 30 gold between the two of you.
of course,
He digs in pockets, places down 15.
slide over 15 pieces.
He'll scoop it up, pop it into a pocket. Thank you. Feel free to sit wherever. If you need a meal, let me know. If you need rooms, I can jimmy something up for you.
Perhaps. How many rooms do you have available at the moment?
7. There was a troop of adventurers that went off towards one of the monuments. I don't know. Never came back. I got a brand new shield if you want to look at it.
Oh? Perhaps before we...
He'll reach under the table to what is presumably a lost and found section and pull out a what looks to be almost a silver shield, but it is polished so that there is a quite accurate reflection. It's not very distorted by the curve in the metal. Is she pretty?
How big
May
is
I
this shield?
look over it?
It is dwarf sized.
Oh,
So it could do a medium sized creature. It cannot do a giant T-Rex man.
finger ring. May I
Yep.
see it?
He will place it on the table. Or on the bar, I suppose. As he does so, there's a soft echo of footsteps as Mercus arrives. Mercus, you see two of your companions sat speaking to a dwarvish man. There's a particularly angry-looking woman with horns that is sipping at a drink underneath a veil. There is a frog that is eating an inordinate amount of food. Those are the main things you spot.
He'll go sit kind of over here by Tyrannus.
You're a coward.
Get the
I thought
purple
about it.
vision. Spots you.
Does the shield seem arcane in any way from a first touch?
Not from a first touch. You can run an Arcana check on it if you'd like.
I shall. Look over this dwarven shield. With another fucking 9 in Arcana. Holy fuck.
With your relative training and your mother's particular interest in runic magics, that would be a pattern of enchantment that you would be familiar with that isn't present here. Whether or not there is any sense of ambient Pandora, you can't pick out any with intent. There's probably some expensive oils used on it, but if there is magic in the item, it is by proxy to other stimuli and not the item itself.
And just, asking out of curiosity, how much would this be?
That way, silver, looking at 250, 300. Masterwork for sure.
Hat's pocket. We shall see. I will hand it back to him.
Okay. He'll set it down and then turn to Mercus. Hey, welcome back. What can I get you?
He'll look over at Tyrannus. I guess if it's good enough for nobles, it's good enough for me. Whatever he's having.
Are you sure you want to purchase what I'm having? It's not cheap.
He'll ignore Tyrannus and look at Dante.
Dante has already done a 180 and walked over to the hatch. The hatch will rapidly fall out from under him and he will disappear underneath.
Well,
I
guess I'm going to try what I have in the meantime.
Yes, I also would like to say, you were asking about if that man over there, Grung, would consider it rude. I think by the way he's eating, he would not care for impoliteness if we were to disturb him.
I think you are right. I will share my drink with him. Well, Marcus, you are buying your own drink, but should you wish to join me, I'm going to go converse with this fellow over here.
Who?
She
I think
gestures
I shall
to
wait.
an incredibly fat frog, who in the mere moments you have walked in has looked to have gained about 25 pounds from the food he is shoveling into his mouth.
You enjoy it. Have fun.
Well,
I shall be. Sorry. I shall be going as well, Marcus. I wish to inquire about the reptilian skull he carries with him.
He'll just nod.
do 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 do. Hello there.
You greet the frog, but first, Mercus, you watch as the hatch flies open and bounding from underneath like he just leapt. Dante arrives with a similar blueberry painted glass. He will place it and go, I'll be 15.
He'll reluctantly hand him 15 gold.
He will not question you nor give advice. He will take your gold and let go of the neck of the bottle. Take it easy. Good stuff.
Yeah. He'll slowly make his way over with them.
Dante considers in his mind whether or not he could grow blueberries out of your hair. Anyway. You approach the grung, who pauses a moment as you sort of hail him, and then raise one eyebrow, and then blink the other eye. You could almost think he is winking, but it is not the correct method. He will gesture to the seat in front of you with a bone, as if, like, you can sit down.
Oh. I can't tell if Lord Tyrannus is on his own chair, so I will sit here. I noticed your impressive stature from across the room and decided I would say hello and ask if you wanted to drink with me.
The frog will belch loudly, its eyes pressing inwards in its skull in an almost grotesque way as you watch the long tongue undulate with the belch. Before he kind of clears his throat, throws back a small glass of water, and leans in a little bit. He speaks in soft tones.
Hey, my name is Eduardo. And yours?
There's not a look of disgust. It is just sheer interest. Like, I really like the way your eyeballs went into your head for a moment there. It is Kasim. It is a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine.
I really like the way you stick food in your mouth and a bone comes out. It's impressive.
Well, my methods of eating have been passed down through generations. The Levenek family is always hungry.
I know it's going to be quite inconsiderate to assume that you would know another Grunk, but have you ever heard of someone named Grunky?
No.
A shame. Well, she will put down her bottle of finger juice and offer him some and figure out where her own cup is.
You have bought a bite of the mamba. Nice. Are you?
Is that what it's called?
Are you sharing freely?
Yes. If you will entertain our presence and me and my companions, of course.
Oh, you have others with you.
He will blink one eye at a time and take in Lord Tyrannus and Mercus.
Hello, my name is Eduardo.
Greetings, Eduardo. I am Lord Tyrannus Rex, Dulois of Troda. Pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure is mine.
Marcus, nice to meet you.
I'm sure it is.
Sorry.
Oh no, ask your question. It is okay.
Would there be any chance I could perhaps examine that skull there? You could tell me what it is from. I'm somewhat of a naturalist myself, and am quite intrigued with cataloging various kinds of wildlife, or at least observing kinds that I do not know.
Well, I can tell you it is not one of your brothers. At least I do not think so.
He will gesture with the staff, handing you the end with the skull on it so you can examine it.
Indeed. The morphology of the skull is too narrow to be dragonborn. And then he'll kind of just quietly talk to himself as he's looking at it.
He'll continue a little bit anyway.
It is a family heirloom found in the Golden Glow to the east. It is allegedly a corpse of a great beast that my forefathers ate and repurposed his bones. They say you can really tell a member of the Levenek lineage by whether or not they have the bones of the beast.
Very interesting.
Yes, I know.
Thank you for allowing me.
The grung will hold out an empty cup in Kasim's direction.
She will happily pour it. I am so interested in. He's got no neck, kind of. He's got a little bit more neck. Why? I can't tell if it's mouth or like what it's connecting in this middle. Oh God, grungs being a fascination. I will pour him a drink.
He will smile, at least you think so, as his mouth opens marginally. There's not teeth in there except for one. It looks more like the gum itself is pointed than a tooth. You imagine there's some kind of tissue or cartilage that allows for some kind of tearing motion, but it seems that this individual hasn't used that in years as he swallows meat by the bone. He will tip the cup back into his mouth.
Oh, the mamba be biting indeed, but my bite is stronger. Thank you.
No problem. I will taste this mamba myself.
It is
That can't be that bad.
It is a strange taste that sort of blooms in your mouth. At the start, there is the obvious alcohol sting, almost like a vodka, just a distilled chemical reagent. But as it touches your tongue and begins to almost develop with your saliva, there is a almost fermented taste to it. The only real world comparison I can give it is like kind of the taste of soy sauce, but it's sweeter.
Well, I see why this one's a little more expensive.
Hey. Well, just make sure you have some antitoxin or a good friend to suck it out of your mouth.
Pardon?
It is distilled from mamba venom. It is probably safe. I guess we will find out soon.
Leith is going to be so mad at me. Well, looks at Marcus and Tyrannus. Would you like some?
I think I will stick to my own. I already have another drink, actually, more than this one, and he'll pull out the flask that Alphonse gave him way back that is finally more than just a sip for him now that he's medium-sized. I think I have enough over here, thank you.
And you?
Do you have a way to cure us if we do get poisoned?
It'll be fine.
He'll pick up a glass and hold it out.
I will pour you a glass
Eduardo
and
nods,
lean over to Tyrannus.
real quick. Eduardo nods as Marcus asks if you have a way of fixing it. He does not understand that you're asking that he is asking if you have magical remedies, and assumes he is requesting that you suck the toxin out of his mouth.
What?
Anyway,
Marcus know that he's assuming that?
he's a frog, dude. He's blinking one eye at a time, and there's bones
Oh
everywhere.
god,
Like,
yeah, he wouldn't. He'd just drink it.
What did Kazim do? I missed the last thing you said.
I'm gonna lean over and tell you. I was like, "Do you think his plants will change color if he's poisoned?"
I think the grung are usually each. Well, oh wait, no, not him. The plants.
Not him.
He's still looking at
Yes.
the frog. I'm not sure. Perhaps with the acid.
Hmm.
You know, the kind of some plants.
We are
Like,
staring straight at you, by the way.
yeah,
At least I am.
they're
He's just
having
gonna
a
laugh at
hushed
you.
conversation at a crowded table and staring at you as you now hold a cup of of fucking bite of the mamba. I assume starting to take a sip, but now they're conferring between each other. Strange.
He's staring more sideways at you because of where his eyes are.
Care to share with the class?
Oh, just Observations.
Hmm.
Now, Lord Tyrannus will lean in and be like, he is a rock. Can he be poisoned?
I didn't actually think he was a rock. I thought he just had a skin thing.
Are you two hoping I get poisoned?
No. Do you feel
No.
poisoned?
Do you want to be poisoned?
No.
I am actually hoping you
I
do
don't.
not be poisoned.
Okay.
It would prove my hypothesis that you are a mineral.
He's just gonna roll his eyes and finish the glass.
I'm going to continue relaxing.
Your relaxations extend over some hours. Rooms are organized for those of you that are staying here. And perhaps it is not a comfortable night due to the events of the earlier interactions, but it is one that is at least a touch safer. There are no more comets trailing across the sky. There's no more golden armored brutes kicking down doors. For some of you, there's no more drowning. The dull quiet of O-Shash is a peaceful one, but not in the sense of an absence of violence, and more in the quiet preparation for it. Elsewhere across the sands, a courier runs. Footfalls that once were light and agile, now dull with heavy thuds, traced in the crimson of his blood as it stains the sand below him. A message is clutched in his hand. One addressed to an Archivist Antonio. It's a shame that the black ink has been stained red, and the recipient will never receive it.